years ago, a few families got a clear calling to move to Tallinn, Estonia, to plant a church. This church should be centered around Jesus and made up of communities living life together on mission. And this is how our mission statement is in Estonian. Jeesuse kesksed kogukonnad, kes elavad elu koos missioonil. Sounds pretty good, right? We prayed to find homes not too far from each other to become hubs of hospitality for people in our communities and a way for them to meet the living God. He answered our prayers quickly, and now we're gathering as 3 communities in northern and central Tallinn. We've seen people who have never heard the gospel before come to faith and be baptized. We've seen people who had lost their hope discover it through Jesus. As a church, we invest in keeping our marriages healthy and strong. We support each other's families and help disciple our children as one church body. Taking care of the refugees who have come to our city because of the war happening in their hometowns is just a new reality. They live amongst us, but really just want to get back home. The same desire that we all have deep down, to be close to our loving Father in our true home. Happily, while we're trying to do our best, Jesus is doing immeasurably more at the same time in and through us. We still dream that in every part of Tallinn there could be homes that people can come to and be a part of the story that God is making there, and ultimately respond to the gospel.
For those last couple of years, we have felt the need to plant 2 new communities in new parts of the city. One would go further up the peninsula of northern Tallinn, and the other group would be planted to a suburb of Tallinn called Viimsi. For this to happen, we need your help. We have been praying for a while to be able to buy a plot of land in Viimsi, to build a home there that would become a church for our neighbors and the rest of the community. This area is growing explosively with lots of families, successful professionals and business owners, most of them well off, but I keep hearing about the hunger for more in their lives. God is calling them, and so many of them don't even know it. Our family feels a calling to go and start a new community there, to build a home that is open, where God can restore the hearts of the people and build them into a spiritual family, so His kingdom can expand and grow.
We're excited this morning. Just before I get into the word, you guys know that ACF is a church that's here in Fort Myers, but our reach is around the world because we are seriously committed about being part of a kingdom agenda. And last year, Dr. Machul and I had the chance to go to Estonia. Some of you wonder, where's Estonia? That's in Eastern Europe near Russia. And when we went on that trip, we met an amazing leader who's doing some great work there with the youth through sports. And we had the privilege of having him drive us from one town to another town. It's almost like a 2-hour drive from Tallinn to Tartu. So your pastor's life was in his hands for 2 hours. And he drove pretty fast. And we prayed the whole time. But it was fun. And this morning he's here because our church supports his ministry in Estonia. So think about it. You are here in Fort Myers, but you're impacting people all the way in Europe. And so this morning we have Kuldar, who came just to meet you and to see what God is doing. So he flew all the way from Europe just to be with us this morning. Would you please welcome Kuldar as he comes to share with us a little bit. Let's give him a warm Florida welcome because it's cold in Estonia.
Thank you. That's such an honor. Thank you, Dr. Phil. It's when they were in Estonia, I wasn't driving that fast. But when he was sharing about your church and his church and you guys, I said, I want to come and visit you because, and I felt that this morning. It's the room full of love. And thanks for having me here. He told me it's going to be loud, but I think you could do louder. So it's such a pleasure. I'm a missionary in my own country, Estonia. We have less than 1% Christians. As Dr. Phil said, we are the neighbor of Russia. As right now we're living in the scary times, as always with Russia, that's how it is. But in our nation, my generation is mostly the first generation of Christians. Because our dads and moms, they were raised under the Soviet Union and they were not allowed to come and worship together. My mom and dad are believers. And I remember when I was a little kid, we had the Sunday school. We said it was a hidden Sunday school. We used every birthday party to have worship services and different things like that. Anyways, we are working with the young leaders. We train them in different local churches so that they would be the disciple makers inside of their communities. And we've done it through soccer. We have 9 churches in Estonia who are doing soccer ministry. We also have a disc golf ministry and some music ministry, the English camp ministry. And so this is our prayer. We pray that this new generation of young people would come to Christ and really just help their friends and their kids to become the follower of Jesus. And and part of my job is also, I'm one of the elder in my church. We planted the church 8 years ago, me and my wife. My wife is leading the worship service this morning. It's already, I forgot to say I have 1 wife and 4 kids. You never know how they do it in Estonia, right? But she was leading it this morning, and I saw some comments that she did good, so we're fine. But we call our church an organic house church. Why we gather in homes? Because again, Estonians are not used to the thing that we're gonna come to the church building and worship together, because they're afraid of that. So it's easier for them to come to your home, break bread there, sing worship songs, have a communion together, and talk about Jesus. This is what we do in the smaller groups in different homes. Thank you for having me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for praying for us, and we will pray for you for sure. And I hope it's not my last time here. Great.